Absolutely.
Just do it.
There's this tweet that I always have in my head. It says, make sure to pee after sex. You don't want to get no HDMI.
Or 4K. Anyway. Welcome to the Audacity. In this episode, we're talking about
Sex, baby.
Ooh! Hello.
Right at this little garage. Garage.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Do you have that sexual feeling?
No,
okay.
not with you.
That was a Whitney Houston reference, queen. Today, we are going back to school. Get your notebooks. Get your bananas.
Pens, papers,
Pills.
rubbers.
Everything. All of the above. Sit your cute little tush down. Class is in session.
Because we're going to talk about
Sex, baby.
Yes.
This is sex ed class today. 101.
Disclaimer, we're not healthcare professionals. We're no experts in this. However, we have learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. And we need to impart this knowledge because it seems that not a lot of people know this.
We've had to learn a lot of this the hard way, too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't even get me
The
started.
rough way.
You talk about sex ed. I didn't even have a formal sex ed.
Ouch.
Literally.
Ouch. There you go. First of all, this episode, you're already well aware of what the topic will be. So if this is not a topic for you, mom and dad,
Please.
bye-bye.
Goodbye. I think you're well educated, so goodbye anyway.
I don't know. I was talking to my grandma yesterday. It was her 75th birthday.
Happy birthday to her.
Thanks. She'll say thanks back. She's young, right? That's a young age for a grandma. My family is quite young. I was talking to classmates yesterday. Their parents are in their late 60s.
My parents haven't reached 50.
My parents just turned 50, basically. So we've got quite a young family.
Yeah.
And my grandma's like, oh, yeah, we're just born so young and we keep things so young in this family. I'm like, no, y'all were Catholic and you didn't know how contraception worked. Okay? Get things straight, girl.
Oh my God. Okay.
Horny
AF. I don't ever want to utter those words in the context of your grandmother.
Right at this little garage. Okay, disclaimers out of the way.
Also, that little thing was a TikTok, and it's like, I think we've watched that TikTok collectively
Yes.
like 700 times.
Absolutely. Well, I
love
mean,
that.
it wasn't a TikTok. It was a platinum song, first of all.
Yeah, and
Give some
then
credit.
And then the TikTok where she,
Yep.
yeah.
Poor Siri can't understand. When I ask her to play WAP, she does not know what that means.
So you have to go WAP. Okay, let's start with this. I'm going to ask you a question.
Hit me.
I know a little bit about this. I don't
Actually,
know.
hit me with consent. That would be kinky.
Ooh. Anyway,
We'll get there later.
yeah. I know a little bit about this. I don't know.
What do you know about?
I don't know a lot about this, but how was sex ed for you?
Weird.
Wow.
Weird. And I went to public school in liberal California in the late mid 2000 teens, right? That sounded real jumbly. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is sex ed for me was rough, and I can't imagine what it would have been like in other backwards parts of the country.
Wow.
We had like health class when we were young. So we learned about what was happening with our bodies. And we kind of learned what was happening with the girls' bodies because we had these classes separated by genders. Like
Oh my God, same.
my least favorite day of school when I had to go hang out with the boys. Like I had to leave my girlfriends for one period to go watch these videos with the boys. Traumatizing, first of all. And the videos they played us were like sex ed tapes on VHS from like the 80s.
Oh my
It was actually
God.
really hilarious. Like it was these girls in like leg warmers and scrunchies being invited to their first like mixed party with boys and girls at the
Oh my
at the
God.
football junior varsity party or something, and she got her period when she was there for the first time.
Oh my God.
And then the host's mother had to be like, "Don't worry, sweetie, I'm gonna teach you about your vagina."
That would be the most embarrassing night
With
of my
like a
life.
very retro 80s filter, and like the VHS would crackle. Like, oh, and I
Oh my
remember this
God.
other scene too. The same, we followed this girl throughout her entire discovery of her femininity. And later going to school too, she had to bring like a full entire pack of pads, like from the grocery store to school to put in the locker. I don't know why she needed the whole entire
We
fresh
need it.
box, but I don't know those kind
Yeah.
of things because I wasn't paying attention to the video.
We need it.
And it fell out of the bag and toppled down the stairs in front of the entire middle school hallway.
Oh no.
I don't know why the fuck this was in the video. That's quite traumatizing to the girls, I could imagine. But the popular boy picked them up for her and was like, "Did you drop these?"
I would combust in that moment if that happened to me.
And then they waited until they were married to have consensual adult sex. No, I don't know. We don't know the ending of that. But no, health class is so different than sex ed. The only formal sex ed I had, I think, was in freshman year of high school. And I think it was the last year they were allowed to do it. Thank God. Like, I still suffered, but I don't think my sister had to when she got there. We really had this like Christian anti-Planned Parenthood group come in. I don't know how they were allowed to give us this presentation, but they were.
In California?
In California, in a liberal part, in public school. I didn't think
my
that stuff was
God.
allowed anymore.
That's illegal.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Bitch, I think it was. But they were there. And I don't even know. Like, homeboy was literally one stop short of like wearing the little priest's collar. That's how preachy shit was getting there.
Oh my God.
So obviously, we didn't talk about anything queer whatsoever. We didn't talk about anything underaged whatsoever. We didn't even talk about anything non-marital, non-missionary whatsoever.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember the lessons they gave us. Scare tactics. Let me tell you, scare tactics. My heart is racing right now.
Fuck.
We had to learn about what happens when you orgasm. You release the love hormone, right? Oxytocin.
Yeah. That's the happy. Oh no, that's serotonin, isn't it?
Yes, oxytocin's the love hormone, the bonding hormone. To demonstrate this, they gave all the girls in class a heart cut out of construction paper. And they said, "Okay, now go walk around the room and all the boys will rip a small part of this heart off."
No.
That's basically what happens every time you have an orgasm with someone. You release a little bit of this oxytocin until you'll be like a dried up well.
The irony. The fucking irony. Because, I mean, if you don't know, women can orgasm multiple times a time. Like in
Yes.
in
But
a
also
night or
just
whatever.
also forget the irony, the factual incorrectness. This is not a finite hormone.
Yeah.
You don't lose the ability to bond over time. You can't
Jesus.
go dry on oxytocin. But that was the lesson. Then at the end, all these girls just had like tattered up pieces of their heart left. And the moral of the story is like, yeah, don't have sex unless you love them because you'll be broken.
I have no words.
Absurd.
I have absolutely
In
no
the
words.
2000 teens in California. Crazy.
Wow.
The next lesson, this is some like Bill Nye the Science Guy chemistry lab shit right here. We had to learn about HIV. Maybe it was STDs in general, but the little gay baby I am, I'm like, this is kind of shady on me right now, whatever.
Pretty sure it was proper shade on you.
Probably.
Yeah.
They gave us cups, like styrofoam cups
Yeah.
filled with what we thought was water. And then like go around the room and mix your cups with other people, pour a little bit there, a little bit here, get a little bit poured on you, overflow, whatever. Just, to simulate the idea of spreading, mixing fluids around the room. Then they walked by with some, I don't know the chemistries, the chemicals, some little reagent, reactive droplet thing, and it would turn your cup either pink or blue. Probably some pH balance shit. I don't know. Everyone had like a blue cup because we all spread like HIV to each other. The trauma,
Stop.
the trauma,
Jesus Christ.
the visuals, again the inaccuracies.
I hate it here.
The inaccuracies. My God.
I can't even
I didn't let a
imagine.
motherfucker so much as spit on me after that class. I don't want your fluids. No, ma'am.
You can take my fluids though.
That was, as much as I can remember, my sex ed.
That is trauma.
I think I did have this one chill lesbian biology teacher in 7th grade, and she kind of taught us how to put a condom on a banana, and then she tried to fuck it through a powdered donut. I don't know what, I don't think the powdered was relevant, but that's what I remember.
Okay, listen. If it's going through a powdered donut, she does not like you.
It was probably a fucking lesson about crabs or
She
something.
does
I don't know.
not fucking like you.
I mean, you ask a lesbian to teach 7th graders.
No, but it's not like lesbians don't have wet pussies. They get wet the same way as every other woman ever.
My goodness. No, that was also the only class we could ask questions in 7th grade. That's the last time in which they asked us if we had questions, and we had to write very serious questions and put them in the hat, and then she would read them out anonymously and answer them.
Oh my God.
That shit might have been a bit more helpful in, I don't know, senior year of high school or
when people
sophomore year of
actually
high
started
school.
having sex.
7th grade, I was just waiting for some
baby.
girl to drop her pack of pads down the stairs because that's what I thought was going to happen. I wasn't ready to fuck no breakfast pastries. Jesus Christ. In California.
Also, I think it's a medical condition if your dick's shaped like a banana.
Or if your pussy's powdered.
Yes. If your pussy's producing powders, please go to a gynecologist.
Oh my goodness. No. Thankfully, I've gotten over my fear of bodily fluids since that lesson. But it was wild. School was not helpful. My parents were not helpful. We've, to this day, never really had a talk or the
Thank
talk.
God.
Thank God. I wouldn't want to.
Thank God.
I think they assumed how curious I am, how inquisitive I am. Maybe the search history. I don't know. I think they assumed correctly that I had figured things out on my own at some point. So we never had to do it. I don't know. Kind of shade on them. Like they maybe should have sat me down.
No. Because
they don't. To be fair, they don't know jack shit about gay sex. So I don't know what they would have helped me with.
Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad?
You're right. I had to figure things out on my own. It was complicated, but it was better for my sanity. How about you?
Ask me the question.
What sex ed have you had?
Non-existent. None. Our school.
The Bible.
I'm not even Christian, imagine. And the thing is, Hinduism is very open about sex.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Nothing in school. Got it.
We didn't even have a sex ed class. We had a science class and we had a health class.
Okay.
It was like environment and health, and where we learned about the reproductive organs. So we knew what a penis looked like internally. We didn't know what it looked like.
Oh,
externally.
yeah. The
diagrams.
diagram. Uh-huh.
I knew how to draw a uterus and vagina and the fallopian tubes. Didn't fucking know the difference between labias and whatnot.
Yeah.
Didn't know what a clitoris is. Most men probably don't.
Same.
Still.
No, I do, because I have wonderful friends who educate me reluctantly.
And but I do remember, so there was no formal whatever. We were taught about periods, like you said. So the class was divided into boys and girls.
Yes.
And the girls got a lesson on periods and why we have periods and how we should be very, very, very careful now that we have periods so that we don't get pregnant. So, and imagine saying that to a class full of 11-year-olds. Just imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know what the fuck the boys were taught. Probably about wet dreams and masturbating or something. I don't fucking know. And we will come back to masturbating as well.
I love coming back to masturbate.
Stop.
What?
So there was no sex ed, but however, we had a counselor in school and she was American, and there was a few hours for this one day where she was teaching us about sex.
Right.
And the only contraceptive methods I knew were oral contraceptives, so birth control pills, IUD, and condoms. I didn't fucking know what pulling out even was until much later in my life. And then that was, I think, the only class or the only session where we could ask her questions about sex. And And we asked the weirdest fucking questions.
Oh my God.
I asked such a weird question, which is, I think, very
was it?
appropriate for a 12-year-old. I was like, if someone perform, this was a very logical question. Okay, I was
Okay.
scared as shit.
No
'cause
judgment here. Gimme.
I asked her, if you're having oral sex, for example, and you swallow, are you gonna get pregnant?
Aww. So cute. Is that not every 12-year-old's biggest
Right?
fear?
No. No.
I mean, in this context of sex ed class.
No, it's not. So she obviously said no, because your uterus and your stomach are two
not-
different organs
Wow.
and not connected. Well, that was that. And I didn't know about a lot of sex ed shit. Like, I didn't know how even IUDs got inserted. I
Yeah.
didn't know how
I'm
birth
thinking-
control pills need to be taken.
We didn't even... Abstinence and condoms. That was it.
Yeah.
Abstinence and condoms.
I mean, I come from Nepal,
Yeah.
which is a primarily Hindu
Yeah.
nation, and
Mhm.
no one even talks about sex, let alone abstinence or anything.
Yeah.
It's just assumed that you're gonna have sex after marriage,
Mm.
which, oh,
I mean, how outdated? How absurdly
can't.
outdated.
Also,
that's not a new thing for our generation. Oh my
No.
God, that information would have been outdated in the 1950s.
and like premarital sex is like off the table. Like, I know not in Christianity, well, maybe in Christianity, but like in the Western part of the world, premarital sex is considered a sin. In like Nepal, at least, premarital sex is not even talked about. Like, that's not even
Wow.
like, it's if you do
Yeah.
this, like, there is a no if then situation. It just doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh.
But there's a loophole. You can have premarital sex if you never get married.
Baba Booey.
Anyway,
Ugh. No, but it's interesting. This is why you seem to have had even more education than I had on it. Mine was incorrect. Just factually incorrect.
and I forgot to mention this. We had an entire class on like STDs, so like HIV.
Oh yeah,
and
I think we did that also in
chlamydia
health class.
and syphilis.
And you have to see like the nasty ass
Yeah.
picture of some like gnarly herpes ridden dick. Yeah.
I genuinely thought people died of chlamydia and
But they
like
do.
syphilis.
Oh no, syphilis. Yes.
Yeah, and stuff-
Chlamydia. No, girl, I've met her before. No,
and
in the clinic. What are you talking about?
you're right. I didn't say anything.
Me neither.
Anyway,
No, but this is also a very interesting thing too. You're either going to get a lesson about pregnancy prevention,
yeah,
or STD STI prevention.
yeah,
That is the extent of sex ed.
exactly.
Not how to do it, why to do it, when to do it, with whom to do it,
Yeah.
in which ways can you do it. Not saying I'm not saying I think formal education's job is to be that comprehensive.
No, I mean it is, but like then we'll.
But okay, if you want to predicate so much of this about waiting till you're married, why don't you teach us how love works? Why don't you teach us how relationships
Yeah,
work?
and
Why
what
don't you teach us what marriage means?
Exactly. Why isn't there a moral science class?
Uh-huh. You don't need to give me hot tips for giving like a nice blowjob, but if you're going to tell me I can't get pregnant from oral sex, maybe
Might as
explain
well-
a little bit more about how that act works, why it's
Exactly.
pleasurable for both partners, what will, let you decide if you want to do it or not.
Yeah. And a lot, I mean, the lack of education and information around it is
Yeah.
tiring. There are so many things I discovered.
Yeah.
That-
Well, where do we discover these things from? If not from school and if not from home?
Experiencing it.
Experiencing it or reading about it online
Yeah.
or seeing it in porn.
Or seeing it in porn. This is a good segue
Okay.
into porn and masturbating.
Okay.
I want to preface this by saying, why is everybody against porn?
I don't know if everybody is against porn anymore.
Majority.
Do you think so?
Majority of people are. I mean, porn is banned in Nepal.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. 13-year-old me would have had like a VPN server.
I'm pretty sure people do.
Yeah.
But porn is banned in Nepal, Which, I mean...
I'm sorry, not 13-year-old me. That is technically illegal activity. I waited until I was of the legal age of consent to consume explicit adult materials.
So 18, you mean?
That's the age.
Yes.
That's the law.
But, no, but like, for example, for men, they've always been taught, you know, when you're of a certain age, you might have a dream about someone, and then you might wake up with white shit down your underwear.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's totally natural because you're a man now. From boy, you're a man. And, you know, you have urges.
Yeah.
And you want to take these urges out by ejaculation.
Yeah.
And that's masturbating.
That is.
And that's as natural as
I
is.
don't think nobody explicitly. That was not part of the lesson.
Oh. But, I mean, I think...
It could be. You put it really nicely.
Yeah.
That was almost, you know, that was medically accurate. So that's a good start for me.
And like, you know, fathers and sons probably have these conversations like about growing up and shit. What about women? We aren't even taught the fact that we have a pleasure. Like we have the concept of pleasure within us.
Yeah.
Let alone masturbation.
Why would you? Really? Yeah.
And it's like, and then once you discover it, I think you become guilty for a bit, thinking maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then you read up on the internet and you're like, fuck, everyone's doing it. And there are many ways to do it.
Absolutely. It's an art form.
It's an art form, I truly believe.
Yeah, it's quite different for boys and girls.
Yeah. And also, you talked about how you discovered how sex works and whatever by yourself.
Yeah.
When I first got my period, my mother and I had a very uncomfortable conversation.
Okay.
Where she very scientifically explained to me how sex works. And she was like...
Oh, so you had the talk.
With my mother.
Well,
which was...
That's usually who one has it with.
Absolutely horrendous. Awful. Scared the shit out of me. I was like, I shouldn't ever touch a boy in my life ever again.
Mood.
Also, like,
Should've
reality right now.
Fucking listen to her.
Right?
Hi, Ma.
Stop it. Absolutely disgusting. I don't even want to recall it.
Okay,
she was
let's not.
so scientific about it. She was like, when the sperm meets the egg that goes inside your body. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Oh my
please.
gosh. At least that's more, I mean, I don't know. That's more clear than being so euphemistic about it with metaphors and birds and bees.
I hated it. Anyway, but then lucky for my sister, because I did the explaining, and I was like, you know what?
Oh.
People have sex.
Yeah.
And that's natural.
Yeah.
Just don't have it, you know, super young.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone force you into it.
Absolutely.
And it's natural. So my explanation process was a lot more.
No, but that's fine.
Chill.
That's a great thing to do between siblings. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. You even brought in consent there, which is something that's never talked about formally or informally either.
Exactly. And isn't that the
major
first
topic?
thing?
Should that not be the starting topic?
Exactly.
Of all,
all sex ed, of all health classes, of all science classes. Consent should be the platform, the foundation, the trampoline that you bounce off of.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know. There's a whole deeper level too of dealing with any queer topic whatsoever at all.
Yeah.
I don't. There are so few countries in the world that I think mandate some sort of queer sex ed in classes.
I didn't even know that.
If there are any, it would be a brand new policy anyways. And to be fair, that type of sex requires a bit more creativity, a bit more engineering. So if you need some type of sex formally explained to you, that would be a good type of sex to have discussed and explained.
That's absolutely correct, because for me,
the acts are different, the prep is different, the risks are different.
Yeah. And the whole concept of virginity then becomes absolutely different, because
so different.
Virginity in the conventional sense,
in a straight sense,
is penetration.
Yeah.
And then breaking of the hymen. But even in the heteronormative sense, some people aren't born with a hymen. Some people's hymens don't break.
Sure.
Some people's hymens break and then grow back.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no equivalent for boys.
So
Complicated. So we've got to add consent, and we want to add virginity to the curriculum.
yeah, virginity should be explained as a social construct, and you can lose your virginity or not lose your virginity as per you define it.
Yeah, I'm still a virgin.
Good
It's
one.
been a long quarantine. She grew back.
I genuinely think my husband grew back.
Wait, look at us just being recursive on the whole point, but no, it's not a state of mind.
It's a construct. And yeah, I think these things should be reiterated and explained. And
I just remember the need to know so much that I was not taught in class just drove me to the internet. And at least I was well aware of how porn was a fantasy, so I knew that wasn't educational. Obviously, it was demonstrative.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
And it was explorative.
Yeah.
But it was not informational. But my God, if you've never Googled, I mean, I think that's just how people learn this stuff about their body, about how things work, about how things might work.
I mean, I remember I had this book, and I don't remember the title of it. But it kind of was like about girls' bodies growing up, and like they were like, once you hit puberty, you might start growing hairs in places that you don't know that you have the ability to grow hair in. You need to take care of yourself more because your hormone levels are whack. When you're on your period, it's to maintain hygiene is harder, or you need to be more careful about that, and so on and so forth. So that book was very helpful. I need to research the name of that book. But other than that, I mean, I wish someone would sit me down and have a casual conversation with me saying that this is very natural.
Yeah.
And this is, going to happen. And I mean, sure, my mother did have the period talk with me saying that, you're going to bleed once a month. This is how you wear a pad, whatever.
Yeah.
But even about sex, maybe.
But she talked about it clinically. And it should be talked about almost celebratorily. Like, you're growing up. Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, that's very white.
Well, as I'm saying that, I'm like, no, ma'am, absolutely not. No. But I have the possibility to do this with my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to find that same VHS tape, go back to my high school PE class and see if I could borrow it, because I'm going to have trouble talking about it. And now that we're, adults, it's like the most normal conversation for us to talk about. You know way too much about my sex life and vice versa. But that shit was necessary when we were,
younger.
preteens.
Yeah.
And no, that leads to a lot of confusion, shame, having to figure things out on your own, guilt, maybe making really rash decisions that one might regret.
Great pun.
Oh, rash decisions. Right in this little garage.
No, but
no, I would. Yeah, no. They taught us plenty about STDs, so that I was clear about.
No, but going back to feeling guilt and shame and a lot of emotions and having your expectations shattered, I think that goes back to watching porn again. Like the things you see in porn is, again, a fantasy.
Meant for porn.
These are actors. These people shape their bodies, their persona, everything according to their job. And that's their job. Good for them. Having said that, real life sex rarely ever works like that. Or bodies rarely ever look like that.
Look perfect or function perfectly.
Yeah.
Let alone try to get two people that can be perfect,
And that, I think, kind of, I mean, for women, I don't know how much expectations do they, pin on like a porn star.
Just I from the minuscule amount of straight porn I've ever seen, I have no insight other than just screaming.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah.
But for men, I believe, since this must be a statistical thing. They must start watching porn before women do generally in life. I think.
Wonder. That could be quite a misconception, though.
Probably. But I know men have this fantasy about this is how exactly
it must go. The progression of steps.
Yeah. And the moaning and the groaning and the shouting. Okay, listen.
And the climax.
Yeah. listen, I'm just gonna say this to men. Men, if you're not doing a good job, she is not gonna make any of those sounds unless she's a really good actor.
Right.
Which I think we have to be inherently. So talking about having unmatched expectations, I think we have to talk about how sex is different under the influence of different substances inside your body.
Ooh.
Par exemple, weed.
That'll do her in. Alcohol. Other things we won't mention.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have experience in that, so I can't mention.
I mean, I'm a virgin. I don't know what we're talking about here. But yeah, that also would have been a great lesson to have. You're not gonna even learn that one from porn. That's really a trial and error kind of thing you have to figure out, or just hearing stories from your friends, or maybe looking it up.
Yeah.
But those things will influence not only the performance, but they will also kind of change the rules of the game now. Consent works differently when you're absolutely wasted.
The thing is, it
It
works.
shouldn't work at all, actually, when you're absolutely wasted.
That's the thing. Consent works regularly, no matter what. Consent is consent.
Yes.
If someone says yes, it's a yes. If someone says anything other than that, other than the word yes, it's a no.
Exactly. And it can be revoked.
It can be revoked anytime. She can...
By either party.
Yeah, either party. They can say, let's hit a pause. They can say, let's...
Or a full stop.
A full stop.
Or a motherfucking home run round 2.
Yes. They can say, let's go turbo.
Let's go servo.
Or they can say, you know what? Let's parallel park. It's time to stop the engine.
I'm getting lost. I can see this in a porno though. Like, yeah, daddy, let's go servo. Right in this little garage. Yeah, that won't work though if you're like stoned out of your mind.
Or like blackout drunk.
Exactly, and it shouldn't work, to be honest.
It shouldn't. It will not.
Because I enjoy being in the moment. I want to remember how things happened or how the build-up went.
Yeah.
I get frustrated if my memory's like splotchy.
I would be frustrated if anything went out of my control. So
yeah,
there you go. That's
control freaks, perfectionists, overachievers,
human beings,
high performers,
human beings.
That too.
Just no means no, guys. That's it. That was the premise.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So in addition to substances, 2 other things they needed to teach us about, or should have taught us about, are spicing things up a bit, or how the kids say these days with toys or kinks or anything other than straight missionary sex, pretty much.
Okay, I wouldn't say they should have taught us about this, because that would have been a little maybe traumatizing for a lot of people who don't have fetishes,
I mean, the powdered donut would have made a lot more sense if she like pulled a butt plug out of it.
Oh my God. No, but I wouldn't say it should be formally taught about, but these are the conversations that you should have normally.
Yeah.
Is that there are toys to help you.
They exist.
They exist.
Absolutely.
If you're single, if you're not single, if you're in whatever.
No, toys to be used together.
Really,
toys to be used separately.
Yeah. And they should talk about toys. And
absolutely. Hopefully. I mean, in this year.
Yeah.
I think people have had some time to expand their horizons and their
gazes.
Yeah. I wanted to say expand something else, but we're not gonna you get the idea.
Also, we have to be formally taught that people don't enjoy having sex too. That's a thing.
Yes.
Being asexual is a thing.
They exist. Yes, they do.
No, but that exists.
It absolutely exists.
And we should be
and it's fine. And they can still have very romantic relationships and partnerships too.
And they can be aromantic too.
Yeah.
If that's a thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so hard in for such a prudish culture, which we both kind of come from, at least educationally. Yeah, to talk about anything besides pregnancy or disease prevention.
Exactly.
And I know here in Netherlands, or most of my European friends I talk to, they do get a bit more of a comprehensive approach, which I love. Good for them. Some of this stuff, though, you will still find out from Wikipedia, chat room forums. Yeah. Especially all my gay people out there. Like, we're learning about this from, like, Yeah.
Reddit.
Or
Yeah.
forum websites, those sort of things, or porn.
Yeah.
And then, personal trial and error.
Experience. And I mean, and the thing is, no one tells you that it's going to be kind of scary at the beginning. And that's fine because it's a new thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be scary. If someone would just
Yeah.
be like, this is a natural thing,
Absolutely.
I think it would have been maybe easier. But also, do I really want someone to tell that to me? Maybe not. Maybe, you know what? Things are great as they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think it was scary in the beginning for me. I mean, I'd spend so much time researching because ain't nobody going to teach me about it unless I figure it out myself.
Yeah.
So like when the time came, I was research rehearsed and prepared.
Yeah. Talking about being prepared.
Uh-huh.
Everybody.
Everybody?
I mean, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Should not be afraid
Uh-huh.
to get themselves tested.
I think we're past not getting afraid. You better be proactive about that shit.
Yes.
Miss Thing, these days. In the age of ho phase, ho season, ho lifestyle, I'm pro all of those things.
Just do it.
But get tested.
Get tested
Regularly. That might differ based on the health context of where you are, but
yeah. If
for
you're
us, it's
sexually active.
every 3 months.
Yes. If you're sexually active.
Sexually active with different partners.
Yes.
Multiple partners.
Multiple partners. Please get tested. It's really no big deal.
No, it's not. In most cases, if you're young, it's free.
Yeah.
If you're not, you probably have good enough healthcare where it's covered.
Yeah. I mean, I know my insurance covers it, so you can discover that. You can talk to your insurance provider.
Yeah.
On the benefits that you get.
Mine doesn't because it's student insurance.
Oh.
And how ironic is that? That one of the only things they don't cover is any sexual health issues.
Ugh.
They know their market though.
They do.
They're like, they're going to drain us dry on all of those antibiotics.
Yep. Oh my God. And also, we have to talk about how in sync we are.
We are speaking of, some of those supplies you will need. I had to teach you what PrEP was.
I've
had to teach several people what PrEP is.
Yeah.
PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. It is a pill which has been around for probably a decade now, which basically prevents your body. It prevents your body, should it come in contact with the HIV virus, from bonding together.
Yeah.
It's not a treatment, it's preventative, so that's the pre-exposure. So if you take this pill, once you have enough of the medicine built up inside your system, it will prevent you from being able to contract an HIV infection. It's basically like gay people birth control. That's been exclusionary because PrEP is not just used by gay people. It's used by everybody who might need it if you're in a high-risk group. So women who have lots of multiple partners or sex workers or intravenous drug users, or anybody having lots of anal sex, PrEP's a beautiful invention we have for that.
Yes.
But also just the way we treat and discuss HIV/AIDS education in the world is very outdated.
Very regressive.
Very aggressive.
Very discriminatory.
Very stigmatized.
Yeah.
But just generally very outdated. A lot of people don't know that these are not death sentence diseases anymore. They're still very serious diseases.
Yeah.
And they should be taken seriously. And globally, not all areas of the world have as high a survivability rate as more developed areas.
Yeah.
But in general, yes, we have this lovely little pill called PrEP, which you, can take in many different ways, but it's beautiful. I had to teach you what that was.
Yes.
A lot of straight people have never heard about it.
I had absolutely no idea what PrEP was.
And a lot of gay people know so casually, like, oh, I forgot my pill today. Can I have one of yours? Like, it's a cultural icon now.
Yeah. And our pills were in sync. So.
And for a while there, we had our pill alarm going off at the same time. It was so cute.
Yeah, because it was my birth control and his
no baby
birth
for
control.
you and no HIV for me.
Yeah. So
adorable.
Yeah. So that was kind of cute.
Both have been very necessary this year. What a waste.
For yourself.
Well, I am only speaking about myself. But no.
That's TMI. People should.
But this is a really fun thing about gay straight best friend relationship. I get to teach you a lot.
Yeah.
About my community.
Yeah.
And you have to teach me a lot of girl things that I would never
Yes.
know. And I want to learn these girl things. I've never paid attention because I've never needed to when I was younger. And it was icky, whatever. But now I am matured.
Yeah.
And I want to know and support my girlfriends.
Yeah.
So you have to often teach me quite a lot.
Yeah. And especially once WAP was out, we had to kind of...
I knew the concept, but I don't think I got the nuance of the WAP.
I don't think a lot of men in general, no matter what your sexual orientation is, really know how many types of WAPs we really have, to be honest. Because men just think, okay, if she's wet, she's like aroused, she's whatever.
Yeah.
We're wet because we have discharge.
She also had to teach me what that was.
We're wet because and our discharge varies. So if you're, first there is the normal discharge that you have every day. That's fine, whatever. Then your discharge is a little heavier or a little weirder during your period or before or after your period. So it might be a little discolored. It might be a thicker, thinner consistency, larger in volume, lesser in volume. That's the second kind of, yeah. And the third is the WAP.
Oh, God.
That's when you're on. That's when you
fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's when it happens. And that's the prefacing for, okay, come and get it sort of thing.
It sounds magical. A whole ecosystem down there.
Yeah, but it's Jesus Christ. Do you know your discharge bleaches your underwear?
No. Wow. All I do now.
Imagine the amount of underwear I had to throw out because you're...
And this is probably quite a universal issue.
And no one talks about it.
Yeah.
No one talks about the fact that your discharge bleaches your underwear. There you go.
Cardi B left that out in the song.
Right in this little discharge.
Gagged. No, you did not.
I just did.
Wig flew to Asia. Oh my God.
But yeah, that happens. The different consistency of this discharge, which is just insane amount of maintenance, I would say. Not to mention that wearing a pad or a tampon kind of fucks up your pH level down there too.
This is what I'm talking about. Complex machinery.
Very
you are
complex.
You are operating a jumbo jet. And I've got a stick shift. Like an old Soviet Union 2-seater car.
Yeah.
That runs on diesel and vegetable grease. And you've got a fighter jet. A motherfucking fighter jet.
Yeah.
Paid for with taxpayer money and the pink tax.
Yep, absolutely. And on top of that, straight men at least have the audacity to think that, our
that
value
the WAP is of their doing.
Of their doing, and the quality runs down with more customers. No, the dick ruins the pussy. The dick ruins the pH balance inside us. Yeah. So if you have a stank dick, you're gonna get a stank pussy.
Girls, you tell them your dick's stanky.
Genuinely,
get it away.
Girls,
get it out.
If that dick is not well maintained, it does not belong anywhere near you. Get a restraining order against it. That's disgusting.
That's what we should have did in class. None of this rip a little paper heart bullshit exercise. Pass around a hot dog covered in mustard and be like, which one of these does not belong near your pussy?
Exactly. No hot dog belongs near your pussy. Number one, that's an invitation for a yeast infection. So don't. But yeah, so that's what it is, and so that's why it's like you're not supposed to use soap or anything down there because it fucks it up. Again, that's an invitation for another yeast infection or something more
my gosh.
dangerous, or a urine infection.
Yep. Gotta pee.
Yes, I was going to say that. Girls and guys, after you have sex, just go pee. Even if it's a little trickle, just do it.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
There's this tweet that I always have in my head. It says, make sure to pee after sex. You don't want to get no HDMI.
Or 4K. Anyway.
Ah!
No, but seriously,
Yeah, definitely.
please pee after sex. Just for your own sanity.
I barely know what a UTI is. I just know it's not a thing.
No.
And you need to avoid it by peeing. So
Yes.
I run off almost immediately.
Pee, wipe. That's it.
Got it.
Also, men, please wipe your dicks after peeing. I know straight men don't do that.
Straight men don't do that.
Straight men don't do
It's
that.
terrible.
And I know this
It's
is not
terrible.
technically sex ed, but it's basic fucking hygiene.
This is what they should have put in
Yeah.
health class. Absolutely.
If you don't want to be diapered up, please wipe your dicks after peeing.
Especially my European fellas with that uncut dick. Exotic.
Yeah. Talking about uncut dick, I
What did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't know so much about dick that you kind of enlightened me on.
Oh.
For example, cleaning.
Mhm.
The skin.
The skin works differently.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing though. None of that is as complicated as what you just explained, right? I don't need a pH testing strip
Yeah.
to figure out I should wash my foreskin.
But it needs to be cleaned. Right?
Yeah, it needs to be explained too. Schools failed us.
Horrible.
We live in a society. Not happy about it.
No, but even like something that I'm scared to talk about because the concept scares me so much. Anal and douching.
Shit happens.
Shit. Literally.
Yeah, it does. It's hard. It's a hard concept to think about. Obviously, yes. For you, it's like an experimental thing to try out. For me, it's like Monday night. But last Tuesday actually. But it can be a normal thing. But there is prep work. There is research. There are risks. There are benefits. I don't think they're teaching anal sex anywhere right now, even in those really progressive countries.
Yeah. And cleanliness surrounding it, right?
Yeah. Both cleanliness, but also just respect and understanding that things won't always be clean. But you are adults. You should be
wow.
adults if you're having
Yeah.
sex, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So
Yeah.
act like adults.
Yeah.
You know? Literally shit happens. It can.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anyone likes it. I try not to be a jerk about it.
But it happens.
But it happens. And I got white bed sheets too, so I need to keep my apartment clean. I'm very tidy and clean with that.
You are.
So it's in the back of your mind, but you can't let it distract from the main event. Okay, gays have one little thing in common. We've maybe upgraded to a minivan now.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the F-16 fighter jet that you operate.
No, but yeah. And then there's so much. Again,
There's a lot more.
This is a topic that we can talk about for God knows how long.
This is probably our favorite topic.
Yeah.
Amongst others to talk about, and like
Because
we
it's
said,
so fascinating.
this episode was sex ed.
Sex ed.
So we've shared our sex ed and we've talked about what's missing mostly.
Mostly.
There are lovely stories to go with all of this stuff, which will have to come up in
Another episode.
different episodes.
Yeah.
But do let us know what was your sex ed like? I'm really curious, especially if you have a really funny incident or story.
Yeah.
If you somehow did an exercise in class crazier than pouring water into each other's cups and then everyone had AIDS. If you have a crazier story than that, please go to us on Anchor/Audacity.fm and send us a voice memo where you explain your story.
Or even DM us, honestly, on Instagram.
Yes, but no, I want to hear the richness of the explanation because then we can include it in an episode and share it. Share your voice clip on air. But yes, also DM us somewhere too what else you think needs to be included in sex ed. And what can we teach you? Maybe we can get into some deeper topics next time.
That's what she said. Anyway.
Because there's even stuff we don't know yet.
There's so much. I think there's so much that I don't know, especially.
I think so too. But ma'am, you haven't been around the block. As many times.
As many times.
As many times. But yeah, I think we did it. This is a fun episode.
This is a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much we missed out, and there's so much more I want to say.
I know. But we're gonna go stream WAP and probably order sex toys right now.
This is NSFW.
Absolutely.
So,
and if I may, to put things much more succinctly than we have put them, I think we will now play a clip for you. Someone who can explain one of these concepts a lot better than we have explained.
Someone who is far more experienced than us.
The mascot of the of the WAP.
The creator.
I don't know if she invented it.
No, of the song.
Oh yes, the creator of the song.
And the trend.
Everyone, please take a brief note from Miss Cardi B.
Y'all, it's your girl Cardi B, and I'm doing this video so y'all can keep y'all pussy on WAP. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you bitches got the dab dry ass pussy because y'all pH balance is off. And you wanna know why? It's not because you born with it. It's because y'all keep fucking these dirty ass niggas. And y'all bitches is shy to tell these niggas that they dick is hot. You gotta tell babe, yo, your dick smell like mustard, my nigga. You wanna throw my pH balance off. Y'all bitches be fucking these little dirty ass niggas. Y'all be sucking they dick and shit. And y'all be gagging on it. Y'all think y'all gagging on it because the dick is big. But no, bitch, it's because it stink. Another thing is, right, why your pH balance is throwing off, because y'all bitches need to fucking brush your teeth before you suck dick. Y'all eating barbecue ribs the whole day, bacon, egg, and cheese. Then you suck your nigga dick, and right after, he directly put it inside your pussy. Now you got bacon, egg, and cheese grease inside your pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm only giving y'all this advice because I love you. If you don't want to take advice, alright then, bitch. Roll the dice and keep walking around with that dehydrated pussy. Like I said, I love y'all, and this is for y'all to keep the WAP.
Wow.
The flavor.
The spice.
The succinctness of the lesson. That is, it took us 10 minutes to give that lesson. She did it in 59 seconds.
The facts.
Yep.
The straight up facts.
The syllables. That's one word. Bacon, egg, and cheese grease in your pussy.
That's a word.
One word.
That is one word.
Lover. Amazing. Icon.
Iconic.
Educator.
Yeah.
Visionary. Right in this little garage.
Anyway.
That's the episode.
That's the episode. Thank you guys so much for staying with us.
Share this one with your friends.
And more importantly, with your enemies.
And your partners.
Yes.
Friend or enemy. We will see you
in the next episode.
Stay tuned. Check out our Instagram. We're going to be asking you some hot take ideas, some survey questions that we'll want to talk about later on because we want to interact with you a bit more. Also, keep an eye out. We have very special announcements coming up in the next few episodes.
Yes.
So listen carefully for that. It might involve some guest stars. It might involve some...
Us guest starring.
It might involve... Well, you'll find out.
Yes. Let's not say too much.
Yep.
But it's going to be exciting because we're excited.
Absolutely.
Hope you're excited.
Take care.
Take care. Stay safe.
Go stream WAP.
And
schedule your STD, STI checkup.
Yes.
Explore a new part of your body.
And don't be afraid to research or Google.
Yeah, and bleach your white bed linens. Outro music.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.